He sings amazingly, but Freddie is such a hard act to follow, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And you can see people kind of having a reservation. Even the people who bought the tickets and come and see it, you can kind of see it in their eyes if they haven't seen Adam before. They're thinking, you know, he's not Freddie, is he? You know, are we going to be OK with this? About 2.5 songs in, they love him. Yeah. They adore him. They cry because they love him so much. He's just... He's outrageous.
And do you play Bohemian Rhapsody? Because we couldn't believe we were talking about
40
years
What?
40 years ago.
Yeah.
And we were just saying how we all used to practice in our bedrooms, singing that.
Yeah. No, we're not going to practice now.
No. I remember me and my sisters, we used to try and balance our heads like that, so we get 4 heads.
I can remember being...
You showed the Muppets, didn't you?
We did show the Muppets.
It's great. It's great that so many people have parodied it.
Yeah.
We were deeply, deeply bankrupt in debt, and it was a make-or-break album. Yeah, people probably don't realise that. We looked like we were very glam and successful and whatever, but we were,
And were you all behind the whole... Because Bohemian Rhapsody was so out there at the time, not just the song, but also the video. Were you all behind that decision to...
Yeah, it wasn't... I mean, to us, internally, it wasn't that big a step in a sense, because we'd already done some very complex things on previous albums, you know, and it was a whole album of sort of complexity and taking a lot of risks. So it wasn't that much of a, you know, well, dare we do this? It was just like, no, this is what we do, and this is a good one, so we'll go with this. And the video was a decision we made because we didn't want to go on Top of the Pops and mime.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone did it. Top of the Pops was the biggest thing you had to go on if you wanted to sell records. You had to go onto this programme, but it was actually kind of horrible because you couldn't be yourself. It wasn't real, it wasn't live. And thank God we never had to do it live.
Well, I've just introduced you to my 14-year-old son. He's, you know, he likes his music, he likes his rock music and that sort of thing. And what's interesting is listening to it again through a teenager's ears, because I was, I suppose I was about 11. I remember sitting in my friend's older brother's bedroom, hoping he wouldn't come back from school, on the floor with a Queen album, you know, out there, sitting, doing just what our audience were kind of haphazardly doing, some slightly different.
You all did it very well. Your timing's very good, I got to say. Very good. Even the men.
Even the men.
I've got to say, to be a man in the audience on this programme is something.
You've got to be brave.
Let's applaud them.
You've got to be a real man to wear pink, right? And you have to be a real man.
Before we move on to your relationship...
Can we move on to the
film I wanted to ask you about?
Can I say one thing before we do? Can I just congratulate you on the HRT thing? Because I think it's great that you're opening that box. It's high time that all these little taboos were kicked out of the window, because there's so many people out there who suffer alone and think they're the only one who ever had these symptoms, and men as well as women, you know. And you're bringing it out into the open, and why not?
You know,
why should we be ashamed of what? Personally, well, you know, everyone goes through changes. We can talk about this in detail later.
We can,
But I think the principle is great, and I think you should spawn a kind of loose men programme so that men can do the same thing. You know, I think people need to be talking about these things, which is a little uncomfortable.